can actually come a time where we just let everything else laid aside, and just celebrate the men.
Exactly. We live in a society, and I tell you, Gabby, a lot has happened over the years. But we thank God because we're moving forward. And like I said before we went on break, that I'm excited because of the change, the awareness, because we'll have a better generation of men, because of intentional parenting and mentorship that we have the likes of Pastor Wisdom, my husband, doing, and a lot more of other people who Pastor is also mentoring through the Man Thing, platform. Pastor is also on radio every Tuesday on NigeriaInfo speaking to men, so you need to listen to that. So I believe the next generation of men, we're actually going to have a lot of success. So, but for the men who have done well, we say thank you. We celebrate you. We do not take you for granted. And for those who are still struggling, I think Family Matters is one show you should listen to every Monday. Call your friends, your grandfather, your father, your brother, husband, and ask them to join us. So the next point we're going to look at now, it's the next D.
Yeah, it's just before she goes into that. Part of what you wanted to know, in case you didn't join us last week, even if we were here last week, is that, whilst we appreciate men, we are also trying to provide a certain level of wisdom, for men to know what to do. Sometimes you see, some men not knowing. So I have a wife, I have children, so what do I do? You see that? And so in case you don't know what to do, you must start beating them, but you have to know what am I supposed to be doing. And there are many things a man, should do or does, in his family, but we're just trying to, use the word daddy. We like a lot of acronyms, so we can't put everything inside the acronym, but we want you to, work with these. So we have mentioned the first one, that daddy is determinant, which means the DNA of a child comes from the father. The father is the foundation, of everything about the children and the family. And then we say the father is an affection dispenser. Means you need to continually.
I like that
one. The hug that the father gives is quite different from any kind of hug.
Yeah. Yes, it's more like, come on now, I'm here.
They hug my children. They want daddy's hug. They want mommy's hug, but mommy is here, but she knows that my hug kind of different.
I know. Even myself, I want daddy's hug.
Yes, they want daddy's hug. And on a very serious note,
it comes with a kind of eagle-like.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's an assurance.
This protection.
This warmth that he has, that. I remember my father hugging me. It's quite different from my mother hugging me. It's two different, I can tell you.
Wow.
So it's something that we're not joking. We're not trying to make light of it. It's something you want to take rather, more intentional, to be able to, dispense love. Tell your daughter I love you. Tell your son I love you. Tell your wife. Yesterday I was sitting in one church and I asked the women, well, how does it do you when somebody says I love you? Your husband says I love you. He said, Pastor, I want to hear that every now and then, every day. I say once in a year. He say, how can you say once in a year? How can a man survive like that? A woman survive like that? So it's as powerful as that. But you know why? You are the source. You are the source. There's a connection.
I just wish more people understand this.
Yeah, you are the source. That's why this is important. And don't even buy the idea that more cruel you become, the more
your authority has power.
Yes.
That is so critical for you to mention. On Friday, I had a caller. What was I talking about on Friday? I was having a conversation, and the gentleman called and said there is a kind of fear his children have when he comes back home from the day's work. So when he's not home, they're playing around. The mother's at home and they're playing. The minute he comes home, everybody's scampering for safety, and he feels that is a way to keep the home in check. And it just resonates with what Pastor you just said. A lot of people feel until you attain that level of cruelty in your home, you haven't become.
Yeah, that also stretches to the point now. So, this mother can be saying, there's some mothers that's on the other side though, but not dealing with that. Majority of the women, if they can be telling the child, do this, just be playing mommy, laughing. But when daddy comes, without daddy even saying anything, the boy will behave. That's an authority figure. That is very important. But it's quite different from what we are sharing. When you have now made it a habit that anytime they hear your voice, everybody runs for safety.
More like a terrorist.
He's a terrorist now. You run for safety when you see a terrorist. Is that not correct?
Right.
When you run for safety and you see people, pretending. You see children, they go and carry a book. They carry book as though they are reading. But and when you come close, you see that the book is upside down. We show that they're not reading. Just people off television, everybody just go and try to put up with appearance. And that's why when you say you are traveling, say, for how long? They say 3 days. Say, why not 3 weeks? That's not, you have not lost that thing. You have now used your authority in a different direction. That respect must be sustained. Women must help to sustain that authority. And that's why you shouldn't, do things against each other as spouse, whether the man or the woman, but that authority is powerful, it's good. But I'm trying to tell you, when it has to do with parenting, the key thing is connection.
Wow.
And you cannot be connected to somebody without socializing. So social skills for a father is something I think every father needs to learn. The thing is that, we say in real estate, you're into real estate a little bit now. So in real estate, the power of the location of a property. So location determines the value, right? So a plot of land in GRA Port Harcourt can be 70 million, and the same plot of land in your hometown can be 70,000. You see that? Because of the location. Yes. Right. So the same thing. So in real estate, they say location, location, location. In commerce, trading, they say cash is king. So if I come now and say this goods, how much? You say 300,000. I say, okay, now I have cash. Can you say 250? You say yes. But you say if you pay sometimes, you say you can pay 400,000 because cash is king. So if you understand that one, then in parenting connection is king.
Wow.
So in real estate, location is king. In commerce or trading, cash is king. In parenting, connection is king. Once you lose connection with your child, you have lost everything. What are you going to do with authority for someone that have lost connection with you? I gotten to the point of gaps to say anything you like do. You have lost that connection. Exactly. A lot of people have gotten to that point. So that's what we're trying to preserve. You have to show love. You have to don't, like we say, how do we call it again? Don't do palliative love.
Don't do palliative. Don't hold it.
In
fact, Pastor, you actually said something last week where you said that the greatest transformational power a man has is love. That your muscles are not to beat, that it's love. So love is actually a transformational tool. And I've seen that the more you love, it doesn't make you less of a father. People think that once you love, you don't correct. Once you love, you don't discipline. That's not true. That's not true. So that's what the A is about. So, Pastor, I think you should take the D. The D talks about how a man or a father should be a discipler. Wow. From the word disciple. So this is a different kind of parenting called discipleship parenting. I know it sounds Christianese, but that's not. So I think I'll allow Pastor to do that.
Discipleship parenting. Discipleship,
where you disciple, and it has a root word from the word discipline. So I think Pastor will talk about this.
Key skill. I don't know how to put it. And, part of this is part of my own discovery. If you don't like it, you can throw it away, please. But part of my own discovery as a father, as a man, is that one of my major skill I need is discipline. One of the greatest habits of any father is discipline.
Yes.
If a father has discipline, it can make up for many other things where he has weaknesses. Because discipline is what makes you to put your emotion in check. Discipline is what helps you to have self-control. Discipline is what helps you to highlight the impact of emotional intelligence. I don't know how to explain this for you to understand. So discipline, from that root word, discipline, you get discipline and discipleship, they come from the same place.
Yes.
So it takes a disciplined leader, in this case a father, to be able to disciple another. You see that? If you are not a disciplined father, you can't disciple. It's like when you tell your child, go and tell the people, I am not at home. Now you are not discipling the right way because you're not disciplined to be able to have self-control to say what you got or to have said. So every father, this is one of my latest discovery in fatherhood journey, that I am a discipler. I'm not just a provider, I'm a discipler. I am discipling somebody to become something. If you want to put some Bible around that, you see that there's some people that have different kind of culture, the way they greet. Some people, they have discipled their people to kneel and prostrate and greet. Somebody started that greeting style. And other people, thousands of years after the person has gone, they are still prostrating to greet.
So, Pastor, it becomes a way of life.
It's a cultural something. We are talking about discipling your children, discipling your family in a certain way. There are some families where, it comes easy for them to show love and appreciation. The love and appreciation come. They are stingy. It's
palliative love.
It's a crazy. They are holding it. They are holding it. It's difficult to see somebody hug there. It's difficult to see somebody, even be expressive, with their love, expressive. You see your wife make hair, say, oh, your hair is looking. Gabby makes this, you say, wow, Gabby, this is your eyelashes.
The eyelashes. Maybe the person took time to
pay
attention to detail, because disciplined people are detailed people. You have to be detailed. Discipline. That's why the military is quite different, because they are very detailed. They are very detailed in there, and that's why they are the most. In fact, even in my MBA class, when I was doing my masters, they used 2 organizations to teach us about discipline. One of it is military. Yeah, military. They are, how they say obey the last command and all that. That's the one we hear. But these people are disciplined. They have a regimented lifestyle, the way they do things, and that's why some of them. Yes, when they wake up. There's a way they don't dress. There's a way you can say military dress. In fact, that's why most of them you see they shave clean and all that. They also want to keep the beer gangs, but they can't do that. Their personal preferences is submerged into a organizational structure.
Wow.
That's what discipline is talking about. So as a discipler, as a man that I'm a discipler, I am creating a format for a lifestyle for my family. So I'm encouraging every man now, know that you're a discipler. You are discipling something. Every action or inaction, you are raising a discipler. And you have to help that children know that every father is the source and the sustainer of the home. He's a discipler. That's what God told Abraham. He said, if I know Abraham will disciple his children, I know he will command them. Because discipleship is something that you are forming a habit. Discipleship is formed by habit, is sustained through a habit. So as a father, I'm now forming a habit. I'm sure your father taught you some habit, maybe a habit of the devotion. Every morning wake up and sing, Father, we declare. It's forming a habit of that. Some also have an habit of, making sure that their children return every month to come and do family meeting. Just different things. You have to create, amidst the generic one, you have to also customize something for yourself. My family, we are trying to build a culture of, oneness, family. So every Friday we have family meeting. Because in our value system in the family, we say we prioritize family. We value God, we honor God, and prioritize family. So if I have something that has to do with family and a stranger, I'm going to prioritize family member above this one. So it's a cultural discipline, that we are trying to do. So a man needs to know, in case you have forgotten or you don't know, please, if you're a woman, you are hearing this, I think they are doing it on Facebook. You might want to join on Facebook. God will give you how you can join on Facebook, or just copy the link and share to any man you know that need to listen to this. Gabby, you want to tell them how to get there?
Yeah, absolutely. On Facebook, we're streaming live at NigeriaInfo 92.3ph. That's a Facebook handle, so you can go on there and watch us live. Also on Twitter at NigeriaInfoPH. You can also go on there and watch us live and share as many times as you can to all the people need to hear this. We do have some comments, by the way, and the phone lines have been buzzing already. But let's take this one. It's from Comrade Moses Nwakocha, Nelga. He says, I simply celebrate myself for being a workaholic and caring father to my loving family.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Thank you very much for that. I've got Ima on the line. Good afternoon, Ima. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
My question to your guest is, after I've taken my time, relevant time, to teach my children, then what am I to do in order to sustain that training that I've given to them? Because they are exposed to the environment. They will go to school and see children of negative characters and actions. They have their phones through Facebook and WhatsApp and other social media branches. Then how am I to sustain those good values and characters that I put into them? How am I to sustain them? Thank you.
Emma, thank you very much for your question. Pastors?
All right, so thank you so much, Emma. I saw that coming because, you see, you are not the one to sustain it. It's the quality of what you have taught them that will sustain it.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
You know how Bible says, if you fell in the day of adversity, your strength is small.
Yes.
You know how those people, the sons of Rechabites,
Yes.
that Jeremiah brought them to the
Prophet
temple,
brought them to the temple
and said, drink
Take
wine.
wine.
He said, no, our fathers taught us. He said, if it is this drinking wine, we will not drink it.
Come on,
If you like, we live here, we die here. So it's the quality. Have you ever asked yourself, Gabby, what did the mother of Daniel put inside Daniel, that in a strange land Daniel can say, I will not partake of this? What did the mother yes, in the face of death.
Exactly.
What did the mother of Joseph, in fact, Joseph is even a more pathetic case because the mother died very young. So what did the father put inside him, that in the midst of every corrupt thing that he passed through, he was able to say, you know what it means to run away from Potiphar's wife? You know, it's very small something. No? Except if you have not been tempted before. Have you told them before? You know, if you have been tempted, you know that it's not easy to run away from marriage. If you are pursuing a woman, it's easier to give up. But if a woman is pursuing you, then your case is a serious matter.
Let's speak to Melody.
So quality.
So it's a quality of, that's the answer. You are not the one to keep it. It's a quality of what you have put there that will be reviewed during the test.
Wow. Melody, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
So, my dad will always gather us around while we're at it, and he will always say, your playmate might do certain things around you, and it might look very attractive, but do not follow them, because their consequences might be mild, and yours might not be. Because when they are caught in some certain acts, they might go scot-free, and you might not go because of the family and the reputation of your family. So don't join them. And most of the times at night, he'll call us together and say, and give us so many advice that it led us to. I started having an affair as a lady when I graduated from my school of nursing.
Wow.
Not because I never wanted to have or experience a relationship with a man, but due to the advices my dad, because my dad gave us this platform that we can come to him, be you a boy or a girl, you can come to him and tell him your challenge, including whatever is going on around you as a girl.
Amazing.
You can imagine that a guy will stop me on the way and say, hi girl, you're very beautiful. And I'll come back home and I'll tell my dad, I say, Daddy, it's one guy that told me that I'm beautiful. And my dad will look at me and say, what? That is the truth. So don't let that word deceive you.
Come on now.
Wow. It's amazing.
So he was a free and fair father to us. He creates this relationship that everyone is very free in the house to tell him anything, and we don't hide secrets. You can imagine that even at the age of 15 to 20, I can still undress myself in the presence of my father. And my mom will be like, come. In the presence of my father, I will be, come, what happened to you here? And my dad will be like, be very careful, you're a woman. Don't hurt yourself.
Amazing.
And we've been going like that, including our spiritual life. And that helped too many of us that even till this time, most of us are married with kids. Now, our dad is late, but we never forget one of the advices that our dad gave to us. But most times when my siblings, they want to react in some ways, and we'll be like, it's like you don't forget who born you. This lifestyle, when you want to create now, if person say who born this person, you go there and say that your father now is imitate.
Wow, amazing, Melody. Melody, thank you so much for sharing with
that
us.
Was one of the. It has been one of the best things that has happened to me as a person and to my siblings in my family.
Amazing,
Wow,
Melody.
amazing. God bless your
That's
father.
a huge
Wow.
testimony. We'll react to that shortly, but let's. Ida, apologies, we lost your call there. Please do all to call back.
I mean, just see what she's just doing. She's, verifying, just what we thought about the man being a discipler. And for you to be a discipler, discipleship is a relationship. It's not a transaction. Can you please write it down? Yeah. I think you are writing it down, so you can remind me later. But I want you to realize that discipleship, you get the best of discipleship through a relationship, not a classroom. You are doing life together with this person. And look at this precious daughter talking about what the father, taught her. Now, I don't want to go into 15 years on dress. Leave that one. Don't ask that question. They just continue what we're doing now. You have to know that you are creating a very strong relationship with that man, that you call your father. Because, I like the way she puts it, because sometimes if you're not careful, you are only going to try to put a relationship that has to do with, girl and mother, boy and father. No,
true.
No, don't bring all of that thing to like a gender something. No. There is a core responsibility the father has to pour that leadership spirit upon everybody in the house. Mother, child, boy, girl, no difference. And this father that is a discipler is showing you that to you to be a good discipler, you have to be able to create relations. You have to have, in our book, this the parenting book, we talked about being a safe harbor. You have to be a safe harbor where the child can boldly, confident, no matter what happens.
Even when they make mistake, they can tell you. Not the one they make mistake, run away from home.
That's what the prodigal son learned from the father. He said, why am I even here dying? I'll go back to my father. You see this, I'll go back to my uncle. He said, I'll go back to my father. Because he knows the type of father that his father is or was. If the father were to be the type that if you say this is the last chance, as you are going, never return back to this house, he wouldn't have gone there. Maybe would have even committed suicide. And that would just be the end of that young man. But he would say, I'm going back to my father. Fathers should be able to have a wide arm. They should have a large heart to stand with their children in the midst of everything. And next week we're going to go to the next one, which is about the father being a deliverer. Wow. Oh my God.
Wow.
The next is a deliverer. Well, let's hear from people more.
I think we'll just wrap up with these comments. Our time is fast spent already. This is from Ernest. It says, good afternoon. I appreciate the program. I have gained a lot of knowledge. God bless Pastor Wisdom and his wife. And this one here says, when children constantly maintain negative attitude of improving in taking advice, does it mean a father cannot punish them? Or what should a father or parent do? What is the best way to train a child?
All right, so there's no one best way to train a child. That's the first answer. The other one is that you need to know there's a difference between discipline and punishment.
And wickedness.
Okay, there's another level. There's another level called wickedness. Wickedness like somebody iron your clothes and then the clothes get burned and then you carry the iron and iron the person's back. That is not punishment. That is wickedness. All right, maybe somebody iron your clothes and then it got burnt. Punishment might be you flog the person 3 strokes of the cane. Then discipline means you need to come and teach the person. You see, discipline is a creation of structure that causes a repetition of action that produces a particular behavior.
You need to say that again.
I don't know.
It's a creation of culture.
Is a culturalization, more like conditioning. You know how you condition a dog, that if you ring a bell, you know that conditioning principle, the Pavlov conditioning principle, that you ring a bell after they feed a dog food. After a while, once you ring the bell, it starts salivating.
Yeah.
The same way, that's what I say, is a structural pattern that creates a habit
of
repetition that will ultimately cause somebody to live in a particular way. That is what is very vital to know. So discipline is quite different from punishment and is quite different from wickedness.
And then also let the people know. I think maybe next time we'll talk about discipline and how you also need to let your children know about consequences. Because most times when people do not know consequences for their actions, they repeat it. So I think teaching is actually one of the ways that you build disciples. Even Jesus had to teach. Jesus taught. He said he took the 12 and sat on them. That's how they became disciples. He taught them. So sometimes we actually flog for the things that we have not really taught. Or even when we we have taught them, they've not assimilated them, to the level that at
How
the
long?
point of
How long?
saturation.
How long did it take you to learn something?
ABCD. We learned ABCD
For a
1, 2,
long
3
time.
for 3 years.
But some of us
Primary
now,
school.
you just teach children once.
And you expect them to
you say
just
you
take
know.
it.
No. Like my wife said, you don't at the point of hear, and you don't learn at the point of hearing. You learn at the point of saturation.
Wow.
You have to say it over and over again until the person is saturated. That is when you now begin to know that person is hear
You
that.
say it, you demonstrate it, you
Amazing.
act it, you do it.
Wow, today has been so amazing. I can't even. My notes is filled up already. Where do I even start from? Wow, I'm sure
Fantastic,
everyone who listened in has also been taking one or two things home with them. But for those who may
To follow at Osiri Wisdom.
Yeah.
On Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
So you follow me at favor_Osiri. Follow right now. And then you follow us because we have something coming up, the Wisdom Driven Marriage Leadership. You're going to learn a lot about family leadership as a man, as a woman, and all of that. So follow at favor_Osiri and at the Wisdom Driven Marriage.
Amazing. Thank you so much, pastors, once
Yes,
again for your time.
yes.
It's always a blessing
Yes.
having you on the show. I wish you both a fantastic week ahead.
Thank
The sunny side today. We draw the curtains at this time, but the conversation continues on Hard Facts with Daya. That'll be on the 3 o'clock hour, right after Rivers Today at the top of that hour. And I'll be back tomorrow on your radio on the sunny side, 12 o'clock, right after the major news, all the way to 3 o'clock. I'm Gabriella. Keep following us on social media, on Facebook at NigeriaInfo 92.3ph, on Twitter at NigeriaInfoPH. We're also on YouTube and Instagram at NigeriaInfoPH. I'm also on socials, on Instagram at Gabani. That's Gabanie, on every other platform at Gabani Live. My name is Gabriella. Have a splendid Monday afternoon.